He said 50/50ths, so I turned his penthouse into my payback. They tell you the worst kind of betrayal is when the person who should catch you instead kicks the ladder away. I lost my job. I came home raw and quiet, looking for a hand, not a lecture. Instead, he looked up from his laptop, clipped and cool. From now on, bills are 50/50ths. For a moment I stayed collapsed on the couch, tasting humiliation. Then a tiny, very dangerous thing happened. I remembered I knew how to build. I stopped begging for pity and started telling a story. I filmed a single, raw video. No sob story, no entitlement, just the line he'd said, cut together with my face and the unpaid job notices. I posted it to a small channel I'd been keeping. Honest, unpolished, about getting back up after being knocked down. I called it the 50/50ths test. I worked. I poured severance into building a pop-up consultancy, helping laid-off professionals pivot to freelance careers. I pitched evenings, networked at breakfasts, and turned every no into a tighter pitch. Within weeks we had clients, then partners, then press. People loved the blunt honesty of the first video. More flocked, donations, a grant. Suddenly it wasn't just me. It was a movement. The growth caught the eye of a venture partner who'd once been in his social circle, someone who knew my husband's name and loved the irony. He offered to fund a permanent HQ, a co-living, co-working space for career restarters, mentorships and microgrants. The only catch? We needed a location with impact and visibility. Guess whose penthouse was both visible and listed under a shell company, because he liked privacy. I negotiated a purchase. Clean, legal, arm's length, using my new company's capital and the investor's money. He signed thinking it was a donor's sale, not realizing the buyer shared my last name. On closing day, I walked into the penthouse wearing a badge that read, Resident Director. The skyline had never looked so delicious. But I didn't leave him out on the street. Instead, I offered him a sublease. You wanted fairness, I said, handing him a printed invoice for 50% of utilities, parking, and maintenance, the same math he'd pitched at me. He swallowed. The man who'd reduced me to split the bills was now splitting a one-bedroom in a community center that hosted empowerment workshops, resume clinics, and seed funding ceremonies. He had to RSVP to events where women he'd dismissed got microgrants. He had to wait in communal lines. He had to listen. Worst of all for him, the community loved it. They donated, they applauded our mission, and they posted selfies with the woman who turned humiliation into a habitat for other survivors. When he tried to gaslight me in front of friends, people laughed. Not at me, but at him. Want more delicious, strategic payback and real comeback stories? Subscribe and hit the bell. Join the channel where we turn "you owe me" into "we owe each other."